Hey guys, so today's video is one that I've been planning for quite a while now. So last spring, basically before the snow was even fully melted, me and a small group, we took off on our four-wheelers and went out to kind of explore this new trail that I personally had never been on. My brother had been on it a couple times before, I think with some of his friends, but I had never been on it yet. So basically we took off. He had told me in advance that we would end up getting to this creek that was essentially impassable. Just the water level's too high. It's about 6 feet deep and you can't really, there's no way to get across it. So sure enough, we took off, headed down the trail. It took about 13 miles to get to the creek. And of course, when we got there, it was like you said, it was completely impassable. The water was basically run up, and just because of all the snow melt we had so much snow last winter. So the snowmelt was so crazy it had overflowed through the creek and was kind of draining off into the swamp surrounding the area. As far as the trail goes getting there, it wasn't too terrible. We had about, I think, probably roughly 5 miles of trail that was fairly challenging. You had to head up here, and that was basically where it started getting somewhat challenging, which I don't think it's going to be that bad now because it has been a pretty dry summer, so I imagine a lot of that wet, muddy area has dried up by now. So basically what I'm wanting to do, I wasn't happy with ending at the creek. I wanted to be able to go further. It just wasn't going to happen that day. It was already late in the day. We needed to get back. So what I'm going to do is take off on the Outlander. I'm going to head out there. I'm going to make sure to bring hip waders. I'm going to bring my drone. I'm going to go ahead and fly some of the creek and see if I can see a place where it might be easier to cross, because from where we were at, which was on the main trail, there was no bridge, no attempt at building a bridge, nothing, so that's where you just were dead-ended at. But if you can get right across the creek, you're good to go. Like, you can head all the way out to this other place where I really like to go riding, but as of now, the only way I've been able to get out there is by loading up the quad, side-by-side, whatever, on truck and trailer and driving about half an hour, and then you can unload and go riding from there. So I would like to be able to reach that spot just from my house, and that's what I'm going to attempt to do. If I'm at all successful, or if the creek maybe looks low enough that it can be crossed, then we'll probably head back out with a group later and check it out. But for now, that's what my plan is. I was going to head out today, but it's pretty windy, and windy enough that I think the drone is going to have a hard time flying, and some of that area was pretty tight with trees, so probably going to head out first thing tomorrow morning and hope for the best, because so far the weather forecast is not great, so hopefully we'll have some luck tomorrow. Alright, got all my gear strapped down and are basically ready to go. I hate bringing that cargo box along, but unfortunately with the abundance of storage that these machines come with, don't really have much choice, so that's where we're keeping all the GoPro equipment and everything, and we're gonna get headed out to the trail. So I didn't want to bore you guys too much with the whole process of getting here, so didn't really have the GoPro on at all. But now that I'm to the main trail, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on, kind of a time lapse, and that way you guys can kind of get a feel for what it's like riding around here in the fall. So that hill right there is incredibly steep. I've never actually gone up it. I tried one time in the Maverick and it did not work very well at all. I ended up having to back down the hill and it just wasn't a lot of fun. So then over to the left is where you can go, and that takes you way back out there. And then to the right, it kind of sweeps up and goes up over the top of this hill. So we'll go up there real quick and kind of show you guys around. There you go, guys. As you can see, it is a really, really cool view up here. So hopefully that gave you guys a little bit of an idea of what it's like back here and why I love coming back here. I mean, as you can see, there's like nothing. It's just the trail that the power line goes down, and there's nothing really around it. A lot of those lakes and stuff, I can't even see from where I'm at. You got to kind of drive to them, and that's why with the drone, it's really cool because you can get up there, fly around, just kind of see what's around you. And like I said, it's a whole lot of nothing. Guys, we are in the sketchy stuff now. Nobody's been through here in a while, and yeah, it's all pretty tall grass. Can't really see much. Definitely a hole there. Log in front of us. Another log there. Come on, baby. Pretty big hole right there.
That's what she said.
All right, guys, so there's the creek right in front of us that we made it to this spring and then couldn't get any further because it is just so deep, you just can't make it across. If we could make it across, as you can see, the trail kind of continues right up there, but nobody besides me has been out here for quite some time, it looks like, so I don't think there's been some trail that's been magically found. I do want to get the drone out, though, and kind of fly the place just to see if we can spot anything, which I don't think is going to be happening. And there are still a freaking crap ton of mosquitoes out here too, guys. This is ridiculous. Yeah, guys, there just doesn't look like there's going to be much opportunity for crossing this thing. Some nice crispy meth shack, looks like. Aside from that, though, guys, I really don't know if there's going to be any way to cross this thing, which is unfortunate. Alrighty. So, the edge of the creek is about here. I just can't see the bottom of it. No, it's got to be deeper than... I don't know, guys. Especially being here by myself, it's a little bit too sketchy. Grass is up so high too. This is almost something where I need to come back this winter with a sled, and then I would get across it pretty easy. With a 1,000-pound quad, it becomes a different story pretty quickly, though. I think we gave it a good shot anyway. We checked it out. But aside from that, I think we're gonna have to call it a day. All right, guys, so just made it back. All in all, I would say it was a pretty successful trip. Obviously did not cross the creek like I wanted to. Someday that is going to happen though. I just when you really need to have like 2 or 3 people at minimum, just because if you start getting stuck, you're pretty much screwed. And where I was at, there's absolutely nowhere to winch to. So made it back just as it's starting to rain, and only had 1 bar of fuel left too. So didn't leave anything on the table really. I'd say we went all out, and hopefully this will make a good video and you guys enjoy it. So until next time, we'll catch you guys later.